$217 million, a little north of that. Back when I chaired the tax committee, I used to tell people, we don't print the money in the basement. We actually have to take it from somebody. So, we're all going to take the vote, and, maybe almost everybody's going to vote for this, and we're going to get nice emails from businesses saying thanks for helping out. But it's the taxpayers that are putting the money up to try and make a small effort at least to keep a bunch of our businesses whole here. And Senator Pratt, the real, I think, problem, and you saw it on the Pappas amendment when both leaders got up and said, we have agreed, the four leaders, that there'll be no amendments. And I was in that role once and was in a situation much like that. So the rest of us have nothing to say about what's in the bill.
One thing that I'm disappointed on is the unable of putting the $500 direct check to low-income neighbors. And one aspect of a struggle low-income families facing during this time is that both parent having to leave home to work, but at the same time, one of them had to supervise their children distant learning. And to a large degree, this will impact our children's learning and will leave our children behind even further.
We also have seen industries like manufacturing that they are booming right now, but they can't man the work. A staffing agency reached out to me. They are being contacted by companies that have never used staffing agencies to try to man work in the past because their employees will not come back. A job that they had that was going to pay over $15 an hour, they called 200 people who are currently unemployed who refused to take that call. If we're going to get this economy really up and going again, we have to get people back to work in the industries that need workers.
Wish that we had more money in order to give our small businesses as well as our workers, because equally they're important to the great state of Minnesota. I'm also pleased to know that there's a specific calling out even in this bill for nonprofit arts organizations and others, because we think that that community is very important and we want to do everything we can, and we want to encourage the counties to really make sure that they support our nonprofit arts organizations.
If anybody is not paying attention, the frustration level is getting mammoth. I go around town to various stores to work on things, and people come up to me more than they ever have. Usually I'm invisible, suburban people, like they get so mad they almost call, but they're not there now. They're writing, they're calling, and they say, can't you do something? Can you do something? And it's been really frustrating to talk about that, because the way this is set up, there's not a lot we can do. We get to pass out some money today, which I'll mention. But one man told me yesterday, he said, it is so unfair that the governor is asking me to take one for the team when he has his housing and his health care and he has and his staff all has all of that intact, and this man was worried about losing all of those things.
It's easy from the governor to sit in his governor's mansion and just say, well, let's close the businesses, close the restaurants down, and just do takeout and delivery. And if you're down here where he is, you can pull your phone out, you can pull up Uber Eats or DoorDash or dial your delivery number of your favorite restaurant and have a meal brought right to you in a few minutes. But out in rural Minnesota, where I'm from, that doesn't exist. And there are many businesses that have had to just close down completely with this shutdown. And this bill that the governor asked for right after shutting down our restaurants and our hospitality industry again is just cookie crumbs from the royal table. This is not a real solution.
I'm glad we're doing it, and this is, as I think Senator Anderson said, a lifeline for these businesses, something that may help them keep their heads above water. And as he mentioned, some of them aren't going to make it. Some of them have already gone under, and they won't be coming back, he said. And that's true, unfortunately. Those 4,500 Minnesotans who have died from this, they're not coming back either. And they matter too. I don't think there's a person in this room who doesn't know some people that they loved and cared about who haven't died from this.
We knew the spike was coming. We knew it last spring. We talked about it through the summer. We should have been ready for this without shutting down our local economies again. And we talk a lot about the business owners. These businesses, these businesses, these businesses. Who are these businesses? These businesses are your neighbors. They're the people you go to church with. They're the people that you coach youth sports with. They're the people, they're the parents of your kids' friends. They might be people you graduated high school with and knew your entire life. This is not about some faceless business. This is the people that we know in our community.
So we're looking at this bill today, which is important relief and important steps, and I am going to gladly support this bill. But I need to say, as others have, we need Congress to really step up in a meaningful way, because we do not have the ability with our budget to come anywhere near meeting the needs that are out there. We could support these businesses through these months until we can really get through the vaccine if Congress would step up. We're going to provide a little bridge, and hopefully that will happen. And then it is not necessary for everything to be on the backs of these small business owners. We can share this together.
As good as this bill is, and as much as this work is really important, opening our economy is the only way to long-term keep employers employing people and mortgages being paid and all of the things that we so much desire. Funds are limited. Regardless of what the feds send us, funds are limited. We will be in session in January. It will be our job to make good choices to help Minnesota's economy get back on its feet. I'm looking forward to leaving here tonight and coming back with all of you in January, refocused on building our economy and doing so as we start coming out of this pandemic.
There being 62 ayes and 4 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to.